What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lasting Thoughts Podcast. I'm your host, This is To Relaxation. We are back again for another episode. And as always, if you guys like what you hear, what you guys are going to hear, please be sure to share this podcast, rate it. You can rate it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It will help move up. But quick disclaimer, because pretty sure when you guys click on this podcast in the title, this episode is not going to be some sad, depressing type thing. I don't know, kind of going to have fun with it maybe. I don't know. We'll find out later on. But yeah, so let's just get into the podcast with some quick updates real quick. First thing first is the weather is changing now. We get into the fall season, which is annoying for me. Because like for the past 4 days it's just been raining and I mainly work outdoors, so that sucks for me. But yeah, it's annoying. I mean, I don't know, I just don't want the rain. Like, it could be windy, I just don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with getting wet. As for like Florida getting hit with hurricanes, I know Puerto Rico got hit with one too. I believe that whole entire island like lost power. So prayers for Puerto Rico and people in Florida and everyone else who's dealing with their hurricane issues, of course. But yeah, it seems like maybe it's like the aftermath of that is coming all the way over here towards me. So it's been raining for like the past week. But yeah. So next update, I know the last episode was the Cyberpunk episode, and it's a little Cyberpunk update. Since that last episode, Cyberpunk has went from being like the third most selling game on Steam, and eventually got to the point where it actually sold over 20 million copies in that short amount of time since like I uploaded my episode to now. Like 20 million copies were sold. That's crazy. I think I don't know. Don't quote me exactly. It might be 20 million overall, like since launch, or 20 million since that episode. But regardless, it went up a lot since then. Mostly, like I said, thanks to the anime just sparking new hope in people, as well as bringing in some new people that didn't want to give it a chance before but probably interested in it now. So Cyberpunk moving up. Apparently there was, I don't know, I can't confirm this, but apparently there was a rumor that there was actually supposed to be 2 expansions for Cyberpunk, and because of how bad it did in its first year, they kind of scrapped the second one, which sucks because obviously we see how it's going now. So a lot of people want the second one to be revived, I guess. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know if that was true or not, but I'll always love more Cyberpunk content. But also, I don't know. I think one expansion is good if they are, well, because they work on a lot of stuff. I know they probably work on the next Witcher as well. I would like to get a sequel for Cyberpunk, because there are some stories that seems to be like lingering that I would like for them to touch on, I guess. And also depending on your ending as well, certain things are kind of important to the overall world of Cyberpunk, not just your character. So I want to see, like, it'll be also interesting to see what ending is technically canon, I guess. But yeah, Cyberpunk. So probably real quick, what I've been up to, not a lot. Got my record player finally. That was annoying to get at first. Well, it wasn't annoying. It was just minor stuff. They said it was supposed to come at a certain time, and for whatever reason, they took it upon themselves to hold it, and they were like, "Oh, upon customer request, we held it." I'm like, I never requested anything. So they held it for like a day. I don't know why. Then they delivered it the next day, which I don't know. I didn't get it, but whatever. It's here. And also because I also ordered like a stand so I could put it on and put the records on too. That was supposed to come later on the week, but it came the same day. So that was good. So I was doing a little assembly the other day, putting my thing together, and of course another issue happens with me is I don't know where it went wrong when they was making this, but I'm looking at other people's pictures and stuff, and like everybody else got their setup nice and right, and I'm looking at mine and I'm like, what went wrong? So the way it's supposed to work is that it's supposed to be like a 2-shelf thing where there's supposed to be a top shelf. Well, you put the vinyl on top of the stand, and then you have a shelf. It's supposed to be a smaller shelf where you can put like smaller things there, and then it's a bottom shelf that's broken down into like 3 sectors where you can put your vinyls in. And for whatever reason, the wood that's like in between the divider that makes it the top and bottom does not properly connect with the side of the whole thing. So basically, because for whatever reason, when I put the dividers in from the bottom, it's too high for where the holes are on the side, so I can't connect them together. So I had to make the choice to just remove the dividers on the bottom and make the bottom basically the smaller shelf, and the top shelf is big enough to hold my vinyl, so the top shelf is gonna be my vinyl holder. So yeah, annoying stuff. So now I just got some dividers that's just sitting there doing nothing, but it's all good. Got it. It's also, it has a Bluetooth thing, so I can also play like music off my phone or whatever, as well as actual records. And speaking of records, got my new vinyl recently. This one is very important to me. I got Charles Hamilton's The Pink Lava Lamp. If you guys know anything about me and Charles, I mean, his music just is what basically kept me going through my dark time in life, and hearing basically someone express my feelings through music, like as if he was talking about me. And it was like, I don't know, it just felt reassuring. Like, that's why I always say, like, you're not alone in this world and things you're going through in life, because there's always going to be someone who goes through things as you. Which is also why I want to do this podcast, because I want to let people know that I've been through things too, and I was able to overcome my things. So you aren't alone. There's always someone who could be there to help you. But I know the problem is finding the right person, because when you're in that vulnerable state, you're kind of walling yourself off from everybody because you feel nobody don't understand you. But there's somebody. It's just finding the right people, or just finding, you don't have to find people, honestly. For me, music kept me alive for like almost a decade until I found a good friend of mine who helped me put things in perspective of how I can fix myself and better myself. So it's just a growth, and it's a process. Just finding the right hobbies to keep you going, and finding the right outlets, and eventually, hopefully, you can find someone you can connect to and relate to, and someone who could just shift your perspective on how you should look at yourself and how you should look at life. But yeah, so finally got his vinyl. Happy about that. So just gonna just keep growing my collection, man. That's it. That's something I always wanted to collect for the longest. There's a lot of things I've been wanting to collect for the longest. So now that I'm in the space, I can actually start collecting. Yeah, just taking my time to slowly build it up. Also with music, speaking of vinyl, also got her vinyl, Madison McFerrin's. She has the You and I album. I got the vinyl. And she actually recently dropped a new single, which is "Stay Away From Me." That song, I don't know. I felt like she dropped that because I needed to hear that. Like, it's just amazing. But if you guys into finding some new music, that's a good song you can try out. But yeah, that's really much it for music. Haven't been exploring too much new. What I've been wanting to do lately is go back again to like older music, like even older, like to albums that people like hold as like holy grails of hip hop, or just artists. and it's like just hearing. So recently I actually listened to EPMD's, I believe it was their second album. So just going back and listening to like older music. There was a point in time I was listening to Big Daddy Kane heavy, like just hearing his style, like back in that time period where people wasn't really rhyming like that. It was like maybe a select few. So it was like hearing, and people like people came and rhyme like how he rhymes now. Like this man used to go in. So it's always good to always, do your homework, I guess, and things you enjoy in life. Pay respect to those who paved the way for you to enjoy these things. But yeah, that's about it for music. Video games, aside from Apex, I don't want to say Apex is doing something shady, but Apex is they're doing a lot right now. They just recently did the Loba Heirloom event. So for a lot of people who don't know, like they have their characters who at a certain point in time they will give them a special like item that you can use like in the game as like your melee weapon that relates to their character and their story. So they finally did one for Loba, which is like a fan favorite character for reasons. If you ever like search her up, you'll find out why. But yeah, so they just did that, and for that, it's you have to spend a lot of money to get that heirloom, like a lot. And now they also doing, I think it starts today, if I'm not mistaken. They started like the Halloween event, which is gonna be lasting like basically all month. They're breaking it down into 3 sections where they're gonna be alternating, but they just basically it's basically like just back to back, like, yeah, spend your money, bro. So I don't know, bro. Like people ain't got money like that. But I mean, it's good though to keep the game alive. They put new modes in. They put in the same old Halloween mode they usually put in from before. So it's good to keep the game alive. Like I said, I haven't been interested in playing Apex like competitively anymore. Like I still play ranked, but I stopped trying for a while. Like, and it's funny because I be playing with my friends and they be trying to see who's the best in our friend group, and I'd be like, I'm not even like doing that no more because like it's just not fun. And also I don't like doing that for Apex because like it's a team-based game. It's like I don't care how much kills you get, how much damage you get. We losing, like we need to win. Like work as a team. I don't care like trying to be the one man band. It's like that's why we losing. But yeah, so I don't know. This time find new things to spice up gaming. But I started Assassin's Creed Odyssey because they finally put it on Game Pass, and I heard good things about this game. So I started playing it, and I'm conflicted to the point where I might stop playing it. So cause the people who don't know about the Assassin's Creed franchise, or who do know, the basically people split the franchise in half. There's I don't even want to say in half. At this point, it's like 3 parts. There's the first part where it's the Desmond saga, where we actually follow a main character and the storyline that focused there. And then after his story ended, there was like, what is it, from Assassin's Creed 4 to Unity, I want to say? Oh no, Syndicate. So Assassin's Creed 4, there's some in between, like Liberation, Black Flag 4, Freedom Cry, Rogue, Unity, and then Syndicate, where it was just basically we're just doing, there's no main character, we just doing random stuff, and that's it. It was just and of course it was like also the dark age where some of the games were coming out very buggy, mainly Unity. So there was that, and then now we're in this new era where they changed the formula of the combat system, and now we do have a new protagonist, we do have a new character, but we still don't know what the story is. Well, we kind of figure it out now, like at the end of Valhalla, and it's like that's 3 games too late to know what's going on. Like in Assassin's Creed 1, you kind of know what's going on, In Assassin's Creed 2, they definitely let you know. So by the second game, you definitely already know. So they started with Origins, which is one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. So, and funny, cause I stopped at the Unity because I felt like the game was just, I didn't like Black Flag. I hate the naval system with a passion. They still be forcing it into every game. They just forced it into Odyssey as well. Unity was all right, and I didn't even give Syndicate a chance because I was just done. So I even get Origins. I got it because it came with my mic for free. So I just say, hey, why not? Free game. So I played it, actually enjoyed it. But the thing is, they changed the formula where it went from like the game is not about stealth and hiding and being an assassin. It's more combat focus. I guess the best way to explain it is like it's a very toned down Dark Souls type game where it has the same attack and dodge mechanic where you gotta like time your attacks. But the storyline focus on the beginning of the assassin, so you can still use some assassin element because that was the whole point of like his character of like, we work in the shadows, so you can be an assassin. The next game, Odyssey, this game takes place before Origins, which means technically there is no such thing as assassins in this timeline. So the whole point of being stealthy, it's an option, but obviously it's not the focus of the game. You just play as this character, which you could choose either a male or female, and they're just basically just these like big power people. Like they could just fight real good. It's like there's no assassin thing about it, and because it's Assassin's Creed game, I'm like, it's just, I don't know, it's just killing it for me. So I don't know, like maybe it gets better, but as of right now, I'm just not into it. So I feel like I might just drop it. I don't know yet. So which sucks, like I said, I heard a lot of good things about this game. So I don't know, but that's my issue right now. But we are in October. Some games are coming out this month. I believe actually, Overwatch 2, as I'm recording this, just came out today. So we are finally gearing up into gaming season. Of course, this month and more so next month is, where all the heavy hitters are gonna come. But for this month, the only games I'm really focusing on is the Plague Tale sequel and maybe Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Maybe. I did not play the beta. I just didn't feel, I don't know. I didn't feel the need to, I guess. So we'll see when it comes out. But those are really the only games that I'm focusing on right now. There might be more. There's a game that I was looking at, but it's getting a lot of bad press. The game is called No Days Left, I think. Don't remember. Let me search real quick. I think it's No Days Left. Oh no, it's not that. Geez, what game was that? Not Days Gone. Definitely not that. The Day Before. There it is. My bad. So this game got announced a year ago, and when I first saw it, I was kind of pretty excited for it. It looks like basically a different take on the Division game in terms of like how it looks and how the style is. So it takes place in post-apocalyptic or post-pandemic. I want to say New York because there's one section where it shows New York. I don't know if the whole map is going to be New York, which the first Division took place in New York as well. So where it's like, but this time they actually include zombies. We thought the Division was going to have zombies, but it wasn't. It was basically the Division was basically like if COVID went terribly wrong. That was basically the Division. Days Gone is basically that with zombies. So the world is all broken apart now. We trying to survive. We're going into buildings looking for loot and all of that. And the game looked great, but as time went on, people were looking and they questioning the studio that's making the game, where the studio's like, they're not really known for doing big games like this. So this is the first time like really going out their way. And then they were like, oh, like our studio is small. We have volunteers. Like they don't even call them employees. Like they volunteering to work for you. Like that don't sound reassuring. Like if you're just volunteering to make a game, you wouldn't be as motivated to give your best. Like, hey, I'm just here to just help out. Compared to, hey, I'm getting paid like a lot to do this. So let me give it my all. They was noticing that some of the trailer, like it looks scripted. So, of course that was the issue with the first Watch Dogs game, where there was a scene where it looked pretty scripted, but people thought like, oh, like it looks so realistic. This is how the game really gonna be. Of course, it was nothing like that. And that's why people didn't like that one. So people thinking that they basically like trying to sell us a fantasy. So I don't know. We just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. But it sucks because I don't know. I like The Division, even though the gameplay got repetitive like halfway through. I like the idea of like trying to rebuild civilization, I guess. So I like that they had the whole, you go back to your base and you build it up. Oh, like you open up a medical wing, you open up an armory ring, so you can just like build it up. I just wish they did that and expanded it so you can go like different places and do it to the same places. Like it just got boring because after you upgrade all your wings, it's like, and you still got the game to play, it's like, now it's like, what I'm doing now, just being it so I can just, I don't know. So yeah, there's that game. I don't even know when it's coming out. Like it got revealed a year ago, but people have been talking about it for the past couple of months about it. So I don't know when it's coming out. So there's that. I think what's that game? Gotham Knights came out or is coming out. I'm not really interested. I've never really been interested in the DC games, honestly. I know the Arkham games are like held to high standard. I just never been interested in playing them. So yeah. But yeah, that's mainly it for gaming. Like I said, ain't been much. Just waiting for the next stuff to come out. And yeah, I am considering dropping Odyssey to maybe play Deathloop because they did actually recently put that on the Game Pass as well. So I might give that a chance. I don't know. But yeah, last thing, I started watching. So just like I did with the Men in Black franchise, I did go back and watch Rush Hour 1 and 2. They actually have the whole trilogy on Netflix as well, but I just watched the first two. It was getting late by the time I got to the third one, so I was like, yeah, I'll watch it another time. And the second one always been my favorite because it kind of came, the time period it came out was more so my time. I was born when the first one came out, but it was like I was still too young to really appreciate it compared to the second one. But watching them both again, second one definitely is the best one. That one was hilarious. Like to still catch the old jokes, but also, like I said again, like I like watching older things with the new older perspective now to catch things that I probably couldn't properly comprehend when I was younger. So it's nice. Rush Hour 2 is definitely goated. But yeah, speaking of movies, so this one I did not put on my notes, but I had a conversation with my friend about this yesterday. And I don't know, I want to know what you guys take about this. Don't want to get too political or woke, but so we all know about the slap that happened around the world with Will Smith and Chris Rock. I don't even remember when that happened, but it happened. And for a while, Will Smith and Chris, for the most part, been quiet on both parts about speaking on it until recently. Will Smith finally did his apology video, which I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't know. I didn't feel like watching the whole thing. But so after a while, after he did that, he went quiet a little bit again, but then he just came back and he started doing like, he came back to Instagram doing his normal stuff that he does on Instagram. And then I saw that he starts promoting a new movie that's coming out. I think it's going to be exclusive to Apple TV. And the movie is, I think it's called Proclamation. I don't remember. Let me make sure. Get the name. Oh, Emancipation. Oh, all right. Close enough. So the movie, it seems like it's, it was supposed to originally be released this year, but because of the slap, they delayed it to next year. But it seems to be a slave themed movie. And of course, there's a lot of mixed feelings with that when it comes to those kind of movies. There's a good chunk of black people who's like, why are we still always getting these slave movies? I guess like there's we don't get anything else. My friend also brought the fact that like we don't get a lot of Holocaust movies or any other genocide type movie or anything, but like they always come back to a slave movie every now and then, and it's like, the story needs to be told so that we know our history, so it won't be repeated again. But it gets to the point where it's like glorifying it in this aspect compared to just actually just teaching it. Like we don't need to watch a movie about this. Like just the kids should be learning about this in history class, so when they grow up they know about this. But personally, I don't know, when I see movies like that, like this, it kind of pisses me off internally. I just hate seeing stuff like that. And yeah. So I was bringing up the point was like, is this like a punishment for Will Smith? Granted, like I said, the movie was supposed to be released this year, so that means it was already in the making, but it seems like there's that conspiracy, I guess, quote unquote, because Dave Chappelle brought this up a long time ago about the dress, about why they always make black men like always at some point in their career they must always wear a dress in whatever they do. And I felt like maybe this is like another way of it, like instead of a dress they also got to do like a slave type movie as well, because Will Smith already did the dress. He did a dress up scene in the Wild Wild West, so he already has that under his belt. So I guess the next thing for him to do would be something like this. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just like, what do you guys feel about us still having to see this part of history thrown in our face over and over, but they won't put in anything else? Like, I don't know. And then there's always the typical, like, they tell us that we should just forget and move on from slavery, but then you throw it in our face from this. Like, it's hard to kind of forget when we gotta see this. But I don't know. Like I said, but it's also, the only good thing about it is that, yeah, the awareness and the message needs to be told so we understand what it is that we've been through and how far we came. But it's only so many movies that we need to keep doing this. But yeah. All right. So let's go into the main topic of today, which, all right, you've seen the title of this episode is going to be Life After Death. And like I said, the point of this is basically to like, I don't want to say have fun, but I mean, maybe, I don't know, like people have different views of death and the afterlife. But I guess to look at it in a different manner instead of this the typical, I guess, dark manner that people probably look at it. So I'm just thinking of different like scenarios and different like what ifs about the afterlife or when you die or whatever. So one of them was, so I know there's people who like, oh, like, they die in their sleep, they had a peaceful death or whatever. Some people are scared of dying in their sleep, because it's like, obviously, because we do not know about the afterlife or whatnot. So it's like going to sleep and just never waking up, and it's like forever darkness, or who knows, like, what happens. So I put up the what if as whatever it is you would dream. I guess, would you rather, if you were to die in your sleep, for people who do believe in the afterlife and heaven and hell, whatever, would you rather die and your afterlife be whatever dream you was having, or your dream world, you're stuck in there, like that's where you're gonna be, like, no, that's where your afterlife is gonna be spent, in your dream world. Of course that could be tricky, because if you can't control your dreams or whatever, or if you was having a bad dream, so there's that. Or would you rather just if you die and you just transition to the next life, or whatever the afterlife is, or whatever your belief of the afterlife is. And of course I also question, like, for people who like atheists or whatever, people who don't believe in heaven or hell or whatever, like, would y'all prefer that compared to whatever it is you guys believe in? Like, at least where you're going type thing, compared to maybe just nothingness. So yeah. But yeah, cause like I said, it could be tricky with dreams as well, like how much control you have over a dream. Would you even know you're in a dream? Probably you think you just woke up and you're just in another day, but things are obviously weird, because dreams get weird. Or because it's all about, if like, it's about awareness. If you know that you're dead, but you're stuck in your dream, or do like, did you think you wake up and you're just doing whatever, or I don't know. So it can be tricky. Then there's, of course, reincarnation. At one point, there was a couple of things I used to believe in when I was younger, reincarnation, and the next one I'm going to bring up later. But I don't know, as I started thinking about things and thinking about perspective and whatnot, it kind of changed. But let's go with because I know there's people who also not believe that reincarnation doesn't have to be limited to just being coming back as another human. I guess some people want to be reincarnated as an animal and whatnot. So my thing is, whatever you be reincarnated into, would you want to keep your memories that that you are, like, reincarnated from who you once was, or would you just want to, I don't know, just be oblivious and live your next reincarnated life as whoever the next thing you are? And as well, would you prefer to just be reincarnated as another human being? Because also, if you want to be reincarnated as another gender than they were born in, also, would you want to be reincarnated as another animal? And I don't know, it's tricky. Like, what if you, cause I think you might trick yourself. Like, what if you were born as another animal? Like, let's say you're born like as a sea creature or whatever, but you have your memories of being human, and you're constantly tricking yourself in your mind that, I guess, I don't know, maybe like, I can breathe underwater, but you're so used to not, so you like probably holding your breath underwater in a sense, and like, oh wait, I can breathe under here. Like, I don't know. So I don't know, but it's like, what, like, I don't know, like, knowing the life of a fish, like, as you have the experience as a human and know how fish life are and how they operate and whatnot. And now you have your memories as a human, but like, you're a fish now. So it's like, damn, like, to avoid, being on some dude's dinner plate, compared to also, now you gotta know how to navigate a whole new world, like the underwater world, like, who's your prey and what's not and whatnot. Like, it's different for us, because for the most part, we know there's not gonna be another human that's hunting us to kill us, but there's gonna be another sea creature out there that's looking for you. So I don't know. But yeah, reincarnation. And that's the next one. You die, but you don't transition. You become a spirit, of course. For those who believe in ghosts, and I don't know, there's many different reasons for why ghosts exist. So go with you want to cross over, but something's preventing you, and basically you have to solve whatever it is that's stopping you from moving over. Would you prefer having I guess a side quest for you to access your afterlife? Would you prefer just being a ghost until the end of time, or I don't know? But yeah, reincarnation and ghosts were two things that I kind of believed in at one point. Cause I don't know. I'm pretty sure people can vouch for this as well with reincarnation. It's you ever have moments of if you see certain things or you hear certain songs and you just get a nostalgic feeling, but wherever it is you're being nostalgic about, you have no actual experience of ever experiencing it. So it's you feel like you've been somewhere. When you see an image, you feel like you've been somewhere that resembles that image, but in your current life, you've never been anywhere there, but you felt like you have. I used to have that feeling mainly when I was younger. Still to this day too, and I used to talk that up to maybe that's me kind of tapping into my past life for a split moment, I did this before. But yeah, the only reason why I like reincarnation and ghosts is tricky for me is because of the concept of your spirit. Just more on your spirit and your awareness, knowing that is knowing that for this time being, for this moment, it's I guess it's a question of why. Why am I aware of being me right now? Why can't I be aware of who I was before? Why can't I be aware of who I probably end up being? Why is it me this exact moment that I am 100% aware of? I know I exist right now, but I have no clue about my previous existence if there was one. So it's that's where it's I believe in you are an individual. You can't be anyone else because only you exist, only your spirit exists. And I don't know, it's the same for my theory with ghosts. Like I said, we don't, if ghosts do exist, we don't know what's keeping them here, why they can't just transition over. Like I said, maybe there's something that they forgot that they wish they did, and now it's something that's so strong that it's not not allowing your soul to progress, or I don't know. But my thing is, I try to equate the time of passing over to the time of if you ever go to sleep. If you go to sleep for how many hours, but you always wake up tired, you felt like you only slept for 5 minutes despite it was 6 hours or whatever. How fast that time gone. The dreams I have in all those hours of sleep, I can summarize what happened in 5 minutes because it felt so short because time moved so fast while I was sleeping. So I figure once you pass on, that time from you going to when you die to going into the next life can be that quick of a transition that's like I said, you didn't even realize you died. Same thing when you die in your sleep, you didn't even realize it and you're already in the next life, and it's damn. But because I know this is probably there's people who think you dying could be some slow process, you die and your soul just lingers for a little bit because maybe it's trying to have hope that you can revive somehow. Then it slowly escapes your body, and then I guess, I don't know, you become a ghost or whatever, and then you're just here for a little bit until God is like, all right, yeah, you can send them up now type thing. like what is the process of why is it taking so long type thing? Like, yeah, so I felt like it'll be more a quick process for you to be here as a ghost. Your soul will be here too long, I guess, for that to happen. And I don't think that you are going to be here for too long. That's just my personal thing. So this one, it's a weird one, but I remember hearing, we talked about this. We were some weird kids. So this is like back in like third grade. We talked about the concept of death and afterlife and what we believe, like what will happen. I guess this is like a full circle thing, I guess, now that I'm talking about it now, all these years later. So we was talking about it, and one girl mentioned the time loop of after we die, the world ends and it's over, that it'll eventually just recycle back again, and we're just basically stuck in a time loop of existing, and we just gonna keep doing this over and over, I guess. So yeah, there's that. Who knows how many times we've been doing this? But again, like I said, that's my question. That's the same question with reincarnation. It's like, why now? Why this specific loop that I'm aware of my existence compared to who knows how many times we've been looped over, like 10,000 times. So yeah. But would you prefer being in a time loop if like, hey, I'm just gonna do this all over again? And of course, obviously, we probably won't have memories, but the cheat code. Well, I don't know, cause that's what be tricky. Like, if everybody get their memories, and obviously, the world be. I don't know how would that'd be tricky. If so, like, what if we do go into a complete time loop, but every single body do retain their memories of their lives, like all of the certain things that happen. So we basically just move into a whole multiverse of, all right, now you guys know what happened the first time. What are you guys gonna do different this time? Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know, because it's like so much history has happened before the time we happen, and it's like, are we gonna be able to exist? And if we do this, how long will we be born later? Will we be born earlier? Will I be born into the same parents? Will I be born a male? Will I be born a female? Will I be born a single child or whatever? Because obviously there's some parents who maybe they wanted more kids, but for some reason they couldn't after they had a certain child, or vice versa. They only planned for one child, but maybe they accidentally had another, or they didn't plan for any child, and it was the accident. But obviously some people are happy with the accident. Some people, they take out their frustration of, I didn't want to be a parent, so I'm gonna take out me living all these years nurturing you, just being a terrible parent to you. And yeah, so like some people probably won't even be existing. Like, I don't know, spooky, but yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but that's my episode for today. Of course, question of the day, as before I said, which one would you prefer if you had to choose a certain afterlife route? Would you just go with the regular, you go to heaven or hell, or for people who don't believe in that and just think there's just gonna be nothingness? Would you want to die in your dream and get stuck in not your nightmare, but get stuck in your dream, and that's your afterlife? Reincarnation, being a spirit, or time loop, or whatever else. I don't know if you have any other afterlife concepts. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and please be sure to share, rate it, and hope you guys have a great day, great week. For the people who's dealing with the rain, stay dry out there. For the people who's not, forget you guys. No, I'm stop. But yeah, until next time, peace.